Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Continuing with the singing of Govinda Damodara Madhaveti from verse number 46. I will ask you all to read the translation. So one of you go ahead and read the translation after I sing the verse. You can choose who wants to go. I will not call out the names, but take turns. Antarjale graha grihita pado vishrishta viklishta samasta bandhu tada gajendro nitaram jagada govinda damodara madhaveti.
In each and every house, a bevy of Gopa women is engaged in making the caged parrots constantly utter with the broken words Govinda Damodara Madhava. I feel like I've read like the wrong translation though.
Right, you have to do 46.
Oh, okay, hold on. My screen thing is frozen. Let me reload the page.
Someone else can do that.
Okay, I found it. Caught by his foot and pulled into the water, Gajendra and his friends, all harassed and frightened away, then called out incessantly, Govinda Damodara Madhava.
Hamsadvaja Sankyayuta Dadarsha. Okay, I'll do it again. Hamsadvaja Shankayuto Dadarsha Putram Katahe Prapatantaменam Punyani Namani Hare Japantam Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Along with his priest Sankayuta, King Hamsadvaja saw his son Sudanda falling into a vat, but the boy was chanting the transcendental names of Hari, Govinda Damodara Madhava.
दुर्वाससो वाक्यमुपेत्य कृष्णा स चाब्रवीत् काननवासिनीशम् अन्तःप्रविष्टं मनसा जुहाव गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति.
Accepting Durvasa Muni's request that she fed his thousands of disciples, even though she means to do this, Darupadi mentally called out to the Lord within, the Lord of forest dweller like her, and she said, Govinda Damodara Madhava.
ध्येय सदा योगिभिरप्रमेय चिन्ताहरचिन्तितपारिजात कस्तूरिकाकल्पितनीलवर्णो गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति.
He is always meditated upon by the yogis as being inscrutable. He is the remover of all anxieties and is the desire tree of all that is desirable. His bluish complexion is as attractive as Kasturika Govinda Damodara Madhava.
संसारे कूपे पतितोऽद्यकाधे मोहान्धपूर्णे विषयाभितप्ते करावलम्बं मम देहि विष्णु गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति.
I am fallen into the deep, dark well of material life, which is full of illusion and blind ignorance, and I am tormented by sensual existence. O my Lord Vishnu Govinda Damodara Madhava, please grant me your supporting hand to uplift me.
त्वामेव याचे मम देहि जिह्वे समागते दण्डधरे कृतान्ते वक्तव्यमेवं मधुरं सुभक्त्या गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति.
Hold my tongue, I ask only this of you, that at my meeting, the bearer of the scepter of chastisement, Yamaraja, you will utter this sweet phrase with great devotion. Govinda Damodara Madhava.
भजस्वमन्त्रं भवबन्धमुक्त्यै जिह्वे रसग्ने सुलभं मनोज्ञं द्वैपायनाद्यैर्मुनिभिः प्रजप्तं गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
O my tongue, O knower of rasa, for release from the hellish bondage of material existence, just worship the charming, easily obtainable mantra that is chanted by Vedavyasa and other sages. Govinda Damodara Madhava.
गोपालवंशीधररूपसिन्धो लोकेश नारायण दीनबन्धो उच्चस्वरैस्त्वं वद सर्वदैव गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
You should always and everywhere just loudly chant Gopala Vamsidhara, O ocean of beauty, Lord of the worlds, Narayana, O friend of the poor, Govinda, Damodara, and Madhava.
जिह्वे सदैव भज सुन्दराणि नामानि कृष्णस्य मनोहराणि समस्तभक्तार्तिविनाशनानि गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
O my tongue, just always worship these beautiful enchanting names of Krishna, Govinda, Damodara, and Madhava, which destroy all the obstacles of the devotees.
गोविन्द गोविन्द हरे मुरारे गोविन्द गोविन्द मुकुन्द कृष्ण गोविन्द गोविन्द रताङ्गपाणे गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
O Govinda, Govinda, Hari Murari, O Govinda, Govinda, Mukunda, Krishna, O Govinda, Govinda, O holder of the chariot wheel, O Govinda, O Damodara, O Madhava.
सुखावसाने त्विदमेव सारं दुःखावसाने त्विदमेव गेयं देहावसाने त्विदमेव जाप्यं गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
This indeed is the essence found upon seizing the affairs of mundane happiness, and this too is to be sung after the cessation of all sufferings. This alone is to be chanted at the time of death of one's material body. Govinda Damodara Madhava.
दुर्वारवाक्यं परिगृह्य कृष्ण मृगीव भीता तु कथं कथञ्चित् सभां प्रविष्टा मनसा जुहाव गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति।
Somehow or other, accepting the unavoidable command of Dushasana, Draupadi, like a frightened doe, entered the assembly of princes and within her mind cried out to the Lord, Govinda Damodara Madhava.
श्रीकृष्ण राधा वरगोकुलेश गोपाल गोवर्धननाथ विष्णु जिह्वे पिब स्वामृतमेतदेव गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति। Did everyone take turns to read the translation? Shravan, Akhil, Krishnendu, Ishan. Okay, Ishan did it. Okay, I'll do it. O tongue, drink only this nectar of the names. Sri Krishna, dearmost of Srimati Radharani, Lord of Gokula, Gopala, Lord of Govardhana, Vishnu, Govinda, Damodara, and Madhava. Srinath Vishweshwara Vishwamurti, Sridevaki Nandana Daitya Shatro, Jivve Pibasvamritameta Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Srinatha, Lord of the universe, form of the universe, beautiful son of Devaki, O enemy of the demons, Govinda Damodara Madhava, O my tongue, just drink this nectar. Gopipate kam saripo mukunda Lakshmipate Keshava Vasudeva Jivve pibasvamritameta Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Lord of the Gopis, enemy of Kamsa, Mukunda, husband of Lakshmi Devi, Keshava, son of Vasudeva, Govinda Damodara Madhava. O my tongue, just drink this nectar. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll move on to the prayer. All of you, please do the prayer. Let's do it together. While I do it on the speaker, you all can do it on mute. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangrahe Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining. We'll now continue with reading of Sikshashtakam. Please open the Sikshashtakam page and read along with me. We'll read the translation too. I'll be reading on speaker and you all will be reading on mute, but please ensure you are reading along. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita source. This is the source of this Sikshashtakam written by the official author is. It was given by Lord Shri Krishna, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Lord Krishna. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam आनन्दाम्बुदिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम् नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशं इहाजनीनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानीन मानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरिः न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि अयि नन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुध कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुद्धया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृषायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनष्टु माम् अदर्शनां मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः प्रभुराशिक्षाष्टकश्लोके ये पडे शुने कृष्णे प्रेमा भक्ति तारा बाडे दिने दिने हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Please take turns and read the translation, all of you.
The glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan cleanses the heart of all dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One
One
should
should chant
chant.
One should chant the holy names of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of
O son of Maharajananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with the tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
If anyone recites or hears these 8 verses of instruction by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his ecstatic love and devotion for Krishna increase day by day.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. We'll move on to the verse of this week. Let's go to chapter 5, Bhagavad Gita. I think we are doing verse 21 this today, or 22. Do you all remember?
It's 22.
22. Okay, thank you, Hemita. Okay, let's read the verse. Take turns. Okay, Krishna is continuing with the theme. The theme generally in Bhagavad Gita is about not to get disturbed by the dualities, to be stable, to be equanimous. And this theme is more emphasized in chapter 5. Krishna is giving reasons, and Krishna is also suggesting ways as to how we can be equanimous. So this is one of those words where Krishna is telling that what is the result of being indifferent to dualities. And we know what the dualities are. We discussed about that, and we all gave a list of dualities, and those dualities which affect our mind are the most dangerous, as if the mind is restless, we cannot have peace, or we cannot achieve our purposeful goals or meaningful goals. The mind is restless, and to control the mind and to be free from dualities, Krishna is giving throughout Bhagavad Gita verses where he says we should not be attached to results, we should not work with expectation of a certain kind of result, we should not be disturbed by the result. So all that information is giving across Bhagavad Gita. However, in chapter 5, through these verses, Krishna is emphasizing even more on how one should be detached and how one should gain that consciousness of Brahman. Brahman meaning that consciousness of equanimity, where we are not disturbed as much. It's not achievable like just by listening. There are ways of attaining that, as we discussed in some of the verses, where we try to understand the intent of our activity. Why am I doing the activity that I am doing? Then, based on where in the spectrum of the modes the intent of our doing is placed, we have to endeavor to move that from mode of ignorance to mode of goodness, and eventually mode of pure goodness. That is the process that we all have to put into practice, right? We have to, and each one of us have different ways of practicing that, and different levels of where our intent is. Some of us might notice that our intent is completely in the mode of ignorance. I'm doing it just for the heck of doing. I'm just doing it out of hatred. I really don't want to do, but I'm doing it because I'm pushed to do it. That is the mode of ignorance. So we have to transcend. We have to think, no. I have to do it with a purpose, with the real, what you call meaningful goal for whatever I'm doing. And that goal should align with what Krishna is teaching us. And also, there are three thumb rules that we can place to understand if our goal is the good one or not. One thing is, does our goal please Krishna? Right? Does our goal help the society or my family in any way? Right? And then, does my goal give me happiness? Of course, if you align with the first two things, then the third one is going to be default. It's going to give you happiness, because any activity done in the mode of super pure goodness or goodness is entitled to give happiness, that inner joy, that inner peace. So you have to check and then move it toward the mode of pure goodness. That is what we had discussed in the last verses. And today Krishna is going to tell us what is the what are the activities of a person who is in the mode of equanimity. So that's what Krishna is going to tell us. So I'm going to read the Sanskrit verse, and we can discuss more after reading the Sanskrit verse. Ye hi samsparsha ja bhoga.
Ye hi samsparsha ja bhoga.
Dukkayonaya evate.
Dukkayonaya evate.
Adyantavantah kaunteya.
Adyantavantah kaunteya.
Nateshu ramate buddhaha.
Nateshu ramate buddhaha. Ye hi samsparsha ja bhoga.
Ye hi samsparsha ja bhoga.
Dukkayonaya evate.
Dukkayonaya evate.
Adyantavanta kaunteya.
Adyantavanta kaunteya.
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
अद्यन्तवन्तः कान्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
अद्यन्तवन्तः कान्तेय
अद्यन्तवन्तः कान्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुद्धः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि
ये हि
संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आदि अन्तवन् आदि अद्वन्तः कान्तेय
अद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुद्धः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
अद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
अदियन्तवन्तः कान्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुद्धः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि
ये हि
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आदियन्तवन्तः कान्तेय
अन्तवन्तः कान्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि
ये हि
संस्पर्शजा भोगा
संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
अन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
अद्यन्तवन्तः कान्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
अद्यन्तवन्तः कान्तेय
Also repeat, please. I'm not saying.
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तात्वा कौन्तेय
अद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
Vishnu, repeat
न
again.
तेषु रमते बुधः
Able to hear me? You're all
Oh,
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, Vishnu, you
yeah, I
need
can hear you.
to do the third line again. Adyant
Okay.
ad
Adyant.
Adyantavantaha.
Oh, Adyantavantah Kaunteya.
अद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
Natesu Ramate Buddha.
तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधा ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुद्धः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुद्धः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
अत्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधा ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये
ये
हि
हि संस्पर्शजा
संस्पर्शजा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
अत्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखयोनय एव ते
दुःखयोनय एव ते
आद्यवन्तः कौन्तेय
आद्यवन्तः कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमते बुधः
न तेषु रमते बुधः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा. Okay, everyone is done, I think, right? Ye hi samsparsha cha bhoga. Dukkayonaya eva te. Dukkayonaya e. Okay, Vishnu and Vaibhav, after reciting this verse, please log off and fix your cameras and join again. But I need to see you all, okay? Okay. Dukkayonah eva te. Adatyavanta kaunteya. Yantavantah kaunteya. Nate shuravate buddha. Nateshu ramate buddha. I meant Vishnu Badam. Vishnu Badam and Vaibhav. Okay? Please fix your cameras and rejoin. Translation by Srila Prabhupada for the verse that Krishna has spoken. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end. And so the wise man does not delight in them. So Krishna is explaining here how because of getting into contact with the material senses, we participate in the sources of misery. Now, can you all tell me, in our day-to-day life, are we participating in any sources of misery? Krishna is talking about participating in the sources of misery. Are we participating in sources of misery? Do you participate in sources of misery? Krishnendu says yes. Can you give me an example, Krishnendu?
When I think of sources of misery, I think that like our day-to-day lives where we're not focused on Krishna, but we think about other stuff. Like let's say we're stressed on school or we're stressed on a job or something like that. Those are sources of misery that we all take part of.
Okay, does that mean that we have to give up our school and give up our job because you are saying those are sources of misery?
No, but it's like that's one of the sources because we can obviously, like in the previous verses where it says talked about working in the mode of goodness or something like those kinds, that if we work in the mode of passion or ignorance or not thinking about Krishna, then those would be sources of misery.
So those activities of education and job are not sources of misery. Those are in fact essential for every human being. If that was the case, if they were sources of misery, then Arjuna would have been told when he asked Krishna, "Hey Krishna, I do not want to participate in this war because it seems like such a miserable task for me to fight against my grandfather, my cousins, and my guru. So I do not want to participate. So I want to quit." Then if Krishna would have told, "Yes, yes, it is a source of misery, you can quit." If that was defined as source of misery. So as Krishnendu said, it is the tasks are not by themselves the source of misery. When we contact them with when we perceive those with our material senses as an object of enjoyment or an object of punishment, that's when they become the source of misery. So again, Krishna also mentioned that yes, we have to understand the intent behind the activities that we do. Now, for example, let's say recently there was this big game. What was that game which everybody, I think it was about 125 million viewers or billion viewers were glued to the TV on that day. What was that recent game that happened? Does anybody know?
The Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. Why is everybody is not telling spontaneously except Sahasra? You told that?
Yeah.
Why is everybody not saying that? Did you all not know that happened? Did everybody know that happened or no? How many of you were glued to the TV that day? 1, 2, 3, 4, what? Raise your Zoom hands because sometimes, you raise your hands in such a way that I can't even see. Okay, I see Sahasra alone raised her Zoom hand. Vishnu Rao raised his Zoom hand. That's it. Okay, some people are figuring out where the Zoom hand is. Okay, I see. Akhil, you're clapping? Does it mean you're clapping for those who raised or? Okay, you not raised your hand. You have your clap also there. Okay, there's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people only. And of course, my hand will not go because I wasn't involved in that. Now, for those who were watching the game, how many of you were impacted by the outcome of the game? Impacted meaning, how many of you were betting for one team and did you watch it? Were you betting for the team, one team? Yes, Vishnu? Were you wanting one team to win or no? Or is just a casual witness? Just watching for the sake of watching, is it? So, Akhil, what is that you raised your hand for?
Oh, I didn't know it was a lot.
Okay. So for those of us who watched and those of us who didn't watch, and even for those who watched but without really attached to the result of the game, you are not really in misery because of the outcome of the game. Yes or no? But there are people who might have been so much involved with the whole game that they were so much impacted by the outcome of the game. So the more you're attached to the game, the more you're involved in it, and the more you want one team to win and not the other team to win or whatever, the more you put your thought into it, correct? To that extent, we'll be in misery. In life, too, other situations like our exams, our job, our activities, of course, we have to put thought into it. But again, we have to not indulge so much into the results of the game or the results of the activities that we are doing. Our engagement with that activity should be to the extent that we do it extremely well. And we do it to make our parents proud and to please Krishna. Remember the 6 reasons of the 6 art of work, right? We did a slide where we had the art of work points as to how work has to be done. So when we do our work like that, then there is no chance that we will be miserable. So that's about the activities, good activities that we do, which I'm expecting all of us that indulge in good activities only. But there are activities that we're not supposed to be indulging at all, like doing drugs, doing alcohol, doing smoking, doing other stuff on the internet. All those things are activities which should not be indulging at all. And those are the activities which are actually the real sources of misery in whatever mode. I mean, there is no chance you can engage in those activities in the mode of goodness or passion. It's always in the mode of ignorance. That is no doubt about it. You can't tell, Auntie, you told me that we can engage in any activity in the mode of pure goodness. But there are certain activities which you can never engage in the mode of pure goodness or in the mode of goodness or even in the mode of passion. It's complete in the mode of ignorance, and that will always pull us down. It will push us down. When we say in Bhagavad Gita terms, what does it mean about pulling us down? Meaning it will pull us down into these hellish planets and to animal kingdom, or we'll lose the opportunity of being born as human beings again. So there are some activities which can never be done and which always lead to misery, regardless of whatever mode you think you're going to do it. And those activities you should be very clear, because most of the times the activities in our life are not defined by us, but by the who are the activities defined?
Is it our parents?
It should be ideally our parents. Yes, that is very good, ideally. But that doesn't happen. Who dictates the activities that we do most of the times, or at least our thoughts, who dictates?
What?
Friends.
Friends, yes. It's a society, in other words. The people outside our home dictate most of the times. We are carried away by the activities others are doing because we spend most of our time with others whom we call as friends. Isn't it so? Even at home, you are probably at the dining table having dinner with your family, but you are probably carrying your phone with you and sitting there and chatting with someone on the chat who you think as a friend. Yes or no? Or even if it's not a friend, maybe you're on social media, which is also society, which is also not your family or your dear ones. So most of the time, our activities, our consciousness is driven by the technology and the people around us. So we have to make consciously this choice of picking the right people around us. You are an average of the 5 people that you are constantly associating with. Think about who are the top 5 people you are spending your time most. Is it your gadgets? Is it your social media? Is it friend XYZ? Who is that? And then you can judge where you are intellectually, spiritually, and then academically. All the ways you can judge or guess who you are, where you are by looking at the friends that you're constantly associating with. It is not possible for you to be rooted to values if you are constantly associating with people who do not value values. Does it make sense? Who do not value values. If you think, oh no, it doesn't matter, I'll be associating with them, but I will stick to values, I will do, that's in my control. It is not going to work like that. You will be ultimately falling to your association's dictation in terms of your choices. So you make the choice of choosing the right association and automatically you'll make the right choices. One choice you make dictates all your other choices. That one choice you consciously make will dictate all your other choices. And those choices will help you whether these activities are going to be miserable, like how Krishna is saying in this verse. Person does not take part in sources of misery which are due to the contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. So for us, school-going children, all our studies, extracurriculars as defined by our parents are very, very important. Any activity which is beyond this, which is outside of this, is a source of misery, and that has a beginning and an end. You might think, oh, I'm going to have fun with this, I really want to do this, but you have to remember that it is not going to be eternal happiness through those sources of happiness. It is going to have a beginning and an end, and it's going to be what you call fleeting happiness that you're looking for. The real happiness is for you all to study well and get liberated from high school and settle eventually as a good citizen, as a good adult. Isn't it? That is the definition of liberation for a school-going student. But liberation for a human being is actually to get out of, to graduate from this university called human being. We all have been enrolled into the university of human beings. And there is a goal, there is a purpose of this university enrollment. It is not just like, okay, you eat, you sleep, you play, you enjoy, you defend. That's animals are also doing. How is it going to be different for us if we are doing the same activities like animals? Even a cat does eating, sleeping, defending, makes babies. Even a dog does that. Even a mosquito does that. Even a elephant does that. And then human beings are also doing. Then how are human beings different? We are privileged. You know that out of 8.4 million species of living entities that exist in this material creation, human beings constitute only 400,000, which is 4 lakh species. And out of which there are again classifications where there are Aryans, non-Aryans, there are civilized, non-civilized, and among again civilized, there are people who believe in God, who believe in doing activities which are righteous, and even those who believe in God, some of them surrender to they're believing in God because they want something in return from God, and some people believe in God because they're completely in love of God. And even so like that, there are several classifications, and of all the classifications, we today got the opportunity of studying Bhagavad Gita because our parents believe in God, believe in developing love for God. So we are rare people with rare opportunity. It's a very rare opportunity to do what we are doing today. We have to realize that. If we don't realize that and we take it for granted, then we will not know the value of what we are learning. It's a very rare opportunity. And having gotten this rare opportunity, we have to graduate from this university of material human being life and graduate to go back home, just like goal of high school is to graduate. Is there anybody here thinking, oh, I will not graduate, I'll stay here forever in high school? Why? Why are you thinking to graduate? Isn't it fun, high school? Don't you wish they had more grades in high school itself, like 9th grade for 3 years, 10th grade for 4 years, 11th grade for 5 years, and 12th grade make it eternal so that you can stay forever in high school? It's so much fun. You don't have to work. I mean, work meaning work for money. And then you just have to study, and you probably have to spend time with friends, do all the fun stuff you're doing in high school. So let it be there forever, right? No? Why, Sai? It's not fun?
Like there's more stuff to like do in life.
Look at that word, more stuff to do. There's more stuff to do. That is exactly what we all also have to realize about human life. There is more stuff to do. Generally, there are several yogas that Krishna refers to in Bhagavad Gita, starting with Sankhya Yoga in chapter 2, where Krishna gives the differentiation between body and soul, how soul is eternal, how body is temporary, and he lists all the various qualities of the soul and of the body. Then Krishna goes to Buddhi Yoga, where he tells exercise your intelligence to Arjuna. Then he goes to Karma Yoga. Then he goes to Gnana Yoga. Then he goes to Dhyana Yoga. So many different yogas. Then Krishna also talks about Bhakti Yoga. The good thing about Bhakti Yoga is it is in line, or it says the same thing as what Sai just said. Bhakti Yoga says there is more to do after this life. Whereas other yogas culminate in that is the end of everything. Gnana Yoga thinks, okay, after I'm liberated, there's nothing to do. Or after Dhyana Yogi thinks I will meditate and liberate myself and there's nothing else to do after that. Those people culminate in the Brahma Jyoti effulgence of Lord Krishna. But those people who understand that Bhakti Yoga is an active engagement process which is involving loving, eternal love toward Krishna, they know for sure that there is more to do, or there is actually life begins, or real journey starts after liberation, where we are constantly engaged in the loving service of God. So as we heard just now that After high school, there is more to do. Yes, even after human life, when we get liberated, there is more to do for us, and which is what we want to do. See, there is more to do after high school. So I understand. But then what is wrong in staying back? You're doing something here also, right? You're enjoying here also, right? Others, tell me now. What is wrong? Of course, there is more to do. At every step, there is more to do. There is no end to what we can do. But then why? Why do we want to move from high school?
Because we've learned like all these skills and it's time to like apply them in the real world. Like it's time for us to take a step further.
Awesome. Yes. So there is no goal for us to stay back in high school because there is something beyond it. Similarly, we all have to understand that while I'm in high school, yes, I will do all the things very well to graduate and go to that destination beyond high school. Similarly, while I'm in the human body, I will also plan and accordingly do activities in a way that I will go and achieve something beyond this human life, which is loving service to Krishna. And that should be done in parallel. It's not like, oh, after high school, I will do it. Or after high school, you'll go to college. Then after college, there is something beyond it. You'll get a job. And after the job, you'll have targets every 3-4 years. You think I have to do something beyond it, I have to do something beyond it. So this is something which will be keep on going as long as we are alive. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't start on the plan to graduate human body or graduate to the service which is beyond this human body while we are in the human body. You have to plan for that. So that's what Krishna is telling. A person who's intelligent does not choose miserable activities because he's not engaging his senses in those activities. And he doesn't take pleasure in those activities because he knows there is a beginning and an end. It's not like that happiness, that activity that he thinks is giving happiness is going to last forever. Super Bowl game must be fun. It must have been so much fun, but we all know it ends at one point. It's not going to last forever. So why not engage in those type of activities which are going to give us everlasting happiness? And those are the activities that Krishna is suggesting here. First, detach yourself from these sources of misery by doing your best but not being attached to results. At the same time, do it in a Krishna conscious way. Okay, we'll go to the next verse. Anybody wants to add any comments? Any discussion points? Are you all listening? Some of you, I don't even know if you're listening. Who's writing the summary today?
I am. I'm almost done with the newsletter for this first verse.
Oh, you're doing it. Good job, Ashaya. Okay. What about others? Are you all listening? Or you're just staring at the screen but looking at something else on the screen, some other screen? Because I don't see you all actively participating when I'm asking basic questions, except 2 or 3 people. We'll move to the next verse now. Sheknoti haivaya sodhum.
Shaknoti hayvaya sodham.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Kamakrododbhavam vegam.
Kamakrododbhavam vegam.
Sayukta sa sukhi naraha.
Sayukta sa sukhi naraha. Shaknoti hayvaya sodham.
Shaknoti vaya sodam. Wait, Shaknoti haivasya sodam.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Kamakrododbhavam vegam.
Kamakrodobhavam vegam.
Sayukta sa sukhi naraha.
Sayukta sasukhi naraha. Saknoti haivaya sodam.
Saknoti haivaya sodam.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Kamakrodobhavam vegam.
Kamakrodobhavam vegam.
Sayukta sa sukhi naraha.
Sayukta sa sukhi naraha. Shaknoti haivaya sodam.
Saknoti haiva yasodam.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Kamakrodo balam vegam.
Kamakrododbhavam vegam.
Sayukta sasukhi naraha.
Sayakta sasaki naraha. Saknoti haiva yasodam.
Shaknoti haiva yasodam.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Kamakrododbhavam vegam.
Kamakrodo bhavam vegam.
Sayukta sasaki naraha.
Sayukta sasuki naraha. Shaknoti haiva yasodam.
Shaknoti haiva yasodam.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Kamakroda bhavam vegam.
Kamakrodo bhavam vegam.
Sayukta sasuki naraha.
Sayukta sasukhi naraha. Shaknoti haiva yasodam.
Shaknoti haiva yasodam.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Praksharira vimokshanat.
Kamakrodo bhavam vegam.
Kamakrodo bhavam vegam.
Sayukta sasukhi naraha.
Sayukta sasukhi naraha. Shaknoti haiva yasodam.
Thank you. We'll read the translation. I want us to read the translation because this is very important verse again. So we'll move on with the translation. So what is Lord Krishna saying as translated by Srila Prabhupada? Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. So this is self-explanatory. This is English. I'm sure all of you understood if you paid attention while we are reading. Now, what are the key words from this verse? Can anybody tell me? Okay, what is the key word? One word.
One word is urges.
Okay. What others?
Tolerate.
Tolerate. Yes. Tolerance. Note it down. Tolerance is the key word. And then what is the consequence of tolerance at the end of the verse? It said, what is it? Can somebody say? Just one word.
They are like happy.
Happiness. So tolerance equals happiness is what Krishna is trying to tell us in this verse. Now, how is it going to give us happiness? It doesn't seem like happiness. If I want to eat something which is not good for me, and I really want to eat, I'm so hungry and I really want to eat it. Can you explain to me how the tolerance is going to give you happiness in this example?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Example of eating junk food.
Oh, like, if you eat it, like.
You have the urge of eating junk food? Yes or no? We all have, correct? Not the same type of food, but it could be some food which is categorized as junk, correct? Okay, now, tolerance to junk food gives happiness. How? How? Because I eat junk
Because
food.
if you eat it now, then like later, you'll like feel like sluggish, and then like you might like gain weight. But like if you don't eat it, then you won't get those problems in the future.
Ah, very nice. That means Krishna is weighing eternal happiness over temporary happiness. Long-term happiness over temporary happiness. Instant gratification is what we get when we do something which is not something which we should do, right? For example, eating junk food. What do we get when we eat it? Immediately, we get wow, the tongue feels good. It feels that nice satisfaction you get, isn't it? Satisfaction is the word when you're eating junk food. That is instant gratification. But if we tolerate and we tell the mind, no, I'm not going to eat this. Okay, we'll discuss also how we should practice tolerance, because it's easy said than practiced, right? We'll discuss how to do it too. So instant gratification will do harm to us than any good. So anything that is prescribed in terms of our habits, which is good for us, will seem hard because they don't instantly gratify us, but in the long term, they're definitely going to give us happiness. That's what Krishna is telling. We have to tolerate the urges of our senses, and that will ultimately lead to satisfaction and happiness. We have to tolerate the urge. We have to check the force of desire and anger, even anger, because when we get angry, we just want to show that anger on things, on people. Isn't it so? First of all, what is the definition of tolerance? Vedic? Or what do you think is tolerance? You don't have to give me the dictionary definition, but what is your understanding of tolerance?
It's sort of like withstanding some sort of like, I guess, somewhat natural like urge that you have, but you know that it's probably going to lead to something worse, so you sort of like withstand it.
Awesome. Very nice. Perfect definition. Withstanding or holding on to some urge to prevent some bad outcome of acting in that situation. Isn't it? So how do we tolerate? Do you all know how we can tolerate? Give me some ideas as to how we can tolerate. Either
Like
it's
maybe not having that food around.
not having a sound. Very nice. Awesome. That's a very good example. There's an example of there's an experiment that was conducted in I think it was in Google Office, where people were in the canteen, the cafeteria, they had jars of candies, to see-through jars, candies, right? So people, while they were walking from this side, that side, whenever they came, they saw the candies and they would pick one and just eat. And they saw the candy jar would get empty very soon. But then what they did later, they put the candies, they didn't stop putting the candies, but they put them in opaque jars or translucent. It's called translucent, the opposite of transparent. They put in that, and those candies never got over, or they never got finished. Thereby, it helped the employees to not eat junk food. Of course, they're not forcing them not to eat, but they're only facilitating them eating less by just implementing certain things like this. As Vishnu said, by keeping junk food away. That is one way of tolerating. What other things can we do? Sometimes the food is somewhere deep inside the pantry, but still we are having that urge. I'll go and get that food from the pantry. Even if I'm studying, I'm like, okay, let me go get 2 chips or a chips packet and continue studying, right? It's okay. Again, don't think that it's completely bad eating those type of food, but if it's becoming addiction, that's the problem, right? So how do we, you're in the midst of solving a nice problem and now you're reminded of that junk food and so how do you, yes, you can drop off, Shravan. So how do we tolerate?
You can find a healthier alternative that appeals our senses.
Yeah, we can replace the other way of tolerating by telling your mind, by postponing that satisfaction urge. You tell your mind, yes, I'm going to eat it after I finish this problem or after I finish this 1 hour of my study. So when you do that, what happens? One thing is you are postponing the urge, which eventually becomes a disciplined habit for you to not fall to the temptations and go in between your important work. Like that, it could be for anything, any bad activity, right? Anything that is not good for you, you can postpone. And once we keep on postponing, what happens? The mind stops bothering us because it realized that it's not going to work even if I keep bugging this person. Because the mind, right? Ultimately, mind is telling, go get it, go get it. That gives so much satisfaction. You can still do your work. You can do it later. What is there? It's just getting a chips packet. It doesn't take even few minutes for you to go get it. But if you tell your mind, no, I'm not going. I'm just going to finish this 1 hour of my study and then I'm going to get it. Who knows, by the time that 1 hour is done, you might not even remember that, or your urge to eat that has been traversed. You have not having that strong urge to eat that. That's with everything, whether it's angry situation, whether it is a situation like I want to now get on social media for next 10 minutes. You tell your mind, no, I will do it after I finish my work, or I will do it after I reward myself with something worthwhile doing. So postponing is another way of tolerating. You're getting angry with someone, you want to shout at them, or you want to really send a message to them saying that you have been so mean to me and whatnot, right? But you tell your mind, Yes, I'm upset with that person, but I'm going to send this message after 1 hour or maybe tomorrow. I'm not going to send it right away. Yes, I've been hurt and I am upset with this person. Then tomorrow what will happen?
Are you asking like what will happen if you send a message the next day?
If you wait till tomorrow.
You wait till
Well,
tomorrow? I feel like maybe that urge to do something will go away because like you kind of like let your feelings kind of sit on it and you probably thought it out. So
And
maybe
then
you
if
just
you want to send your message, it's not going to be as harsh and rude
that's
as
true. Yeah. You might just talk it out with the person, really.
so here what's happening with tolerance? That gives us happiness, isn't it? Let's imagine we were not tolerant and we sent out that message. It was rude and harsh to the other person. So what happens? Then it's going to trigger that conflicting thing between relationship between you both, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's last forever, or maybe it's going to be dragged for many more days and all, as opposed to staying quiet and giving it time and then do it the next day or postponing it. Then what happens? The result will not be as bad as it is when we were not tolerant. So it's just like um, in the circus, the person, the tiger, the lion caretaker, he's actually making the lion. He doesn't feed the lion until and unless it performs on the stage. It growls. It sometimes out of hunger. It really roars. But then the caretaker knows that it's in the cage and he cannot do anything to me until I can give the food to it. Similarly, this mind will be growling, will be roaring, asking us to do what it wants us to do. But if we ignore it because we are in control of it, not that the mind is in control of us. So if we are conscious that we are in control of the mind and do not let the mind uh, do what it wants and tell it, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to do what you ask me of after I finish this or after I accomplish this or after I uh, dedicate myself to some activity that I'm already doing, right? Then what happens? It will listen to you eventually. It will know that it cannot trick you. And that's how we should train our mind. That's very important. So postponing, another idea is not being in the vicinity of that situation which is provoking situation. And like you all told about hiding the food or keeping the food away and replacing it with something good, and then postponing the gratifying need. So these will help us stay tolerant. And then, as Krishna is saying, tolerance is equal to happiness. And we all are looking for happiness. So one way of getting to be happy is to be tolerant. Again, you all might be thinking, oh, I'm not in a situation where I have to be tolerant. I am always in a very I don't have to exercise tolerance at any time, is what you might be thinking. But you are the category of people who need to exercise more tolerance because you are constantly distracted with so many things. And to not get distracted is also tolerance. Tolerance to good, bad food, tolerance to social media, tolerance to gossiping, tolerance to breaking the rules, tolerance to all those things, right? So you have to understand that tolerance is very important for your age too. And of course, as you grow up, we need tolerance in relationships, we need tolerance in dealing with friends, we need tolerance in dealing with colleagues, tolerance in dealing with what life has to offer to us, correct? Sometimes there are difficult situations in life, which we all have to learn to tolerate. So any other points you all want to add? Do you all need to drop? You can drop. I mean, I've seen some messages who have to go to some classes and all. If you have a class that you need to leave, please leave. But others stay back and give some more ideas or discussion points on tolerance, please.
You could also just think of the bad stuff that might happen if you like get the desire to do it, the urge.
Based on previous experience, is it?
Yeah.
Very good. You can note down that one too. So we have talked about three things. One is avoid provoking situations, which will test our tolerance in terms of food, in terms of even other activities. Like if you are surrounded by people who will make you do some things which are not good, then that's where you have to exercise tolerance. So why do we even want to surround with such people, isn't it? You don't want to get into a situation where I have to tolerate everybody is doing something bad and I'm in the association, but I'm going to tolerate. Why do you want to put ourselves in that situations? We should not even surround ourselves with such people. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what type of wrong things happen at school. You all know, correct? I don't know. I have to list them out. Is everybody aware of all the things that could go wrong in school with bad association? Right? You all know more than me. In fact, I haven't really seen, but you all have seen also. But you all are wonderful, great, value-based students. So I know you will not make those choices. But you should also constantly keep yourself on the vigil and check who you are associating with. What type of people are your friends? Are your friends those people who indulge in those activities which we're not supposed to? Then just there is no second thought. Just quit that friendship. You can be friendly with people. See, friendship is different from being friendly. Do you all know that? Can you explain to me how friendship is different from friendliness? You can be friendly with everyone in the world, but you don't have to make friendship with everyone in the world. What does that mean?
Like friendship is like when the friendliness comes from both sides, but then friendly is just like when you're friendly to others, but you may not be getting that same friendliness back from them.
That's partly right. Yes, you are in the same line. I mean, you're getting closer to the actual distinction between friendship and friendliness. Anyone else wants to?
Is it because friendship is just like the title of what you call like just a relationship title, but you're not actually acting on it? That's friendliness.
Yes. Again, but there's a nice way of putting that again. I think you are getting that point. So friendliness is you are nice to everyone, you are loving to everyone. You don't distinct between, oh, she's close to me, or he's close to me, or she's not my close friend. And that you don't do that. I don't like this person because of this quality or something. You are friendly to everyone, you're nice to everyone. But friendship is you're associating with that person day in and day out. You're choosing their association, you want to be in their association, you want to spend time with them, right? That is friendship. Whereas friendliness is you're nice to everyone, you're friendly to everyone, you say hi to everyone, you're nice to everyone, you help them when they need something within your capability. You don't stretch and spend all your time with them, but you just do casually. Or if you see somebody's drop the folder down and all the papers have fallen down, then you go and do that friendly gesture of helping them pick up all the stuff that has fallen down. Right? So that is friendliness. But friendship is constantly having that association with that group of people. So you have to choose friendship with right people. But you can always choose to be friendly with everyone. It doesn't mean a person who's doing wrong things, you act mean to them. No, you can be friendly with them, but don't strike friendship with them. As Hemita said, friendliness is what you give to others. And friendship is where you give and take. We don't want give and take from a group of people who are not value-based or not doing the right things. You give association in friendliness. In friendship, you give and take. So we don't want to take association from wrong groups. So you have to be very careful. You have to be friendly, but don't strike friendship with everyone. Be friendly to everyone. So what are the various steps of tolerance exercises? One is distance yourself from provoking situations. Third one is, second phone the urge fulfillment. And third one is,
It's like looking back at your previous experiences.
learn from experiences. What is that called what is that gained when you learn from previous experience? What is that English word for gaining out of experience? Do you all know what that word is?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Yes, Akhil is our master, what you call vocabulary person. He writes very nice, what you call class summary too. It's very good writing skills. Yes, wisdom. So we have to gain wisdom from previous experience. These are the ways we can control provoking situations or be tolerant. Excellent. You people are learning such wonderful points at a very young age, which people like me are learning now through Bhagavad Gita. while teaching you all or while hearing about Bhagavad Gita now in this age. So you all have an edge over others, because if you pick these qualities that you're learning seriously, contemplate and implement them, you will rise to be shining stars. Shining stars in the eyes of Krishna. And that's what we want. Yes or no? All right. On that note, I want to stop here. Write the summary and send it to me as always. And Ashya will send us the class summary. Ashya, please check it with me before sending in the group. All right. So we'll stop